you. We are threads of light, weaving through the night, tied to the stars, to the ones out of sight. Every touch, every tear, every laugh, every fire, we are threads of light. We are threads of light. In the crowd, I hear your voice in the hum, the echo of you in the beat of a drum. Every hello carries someone's goodbye. We're all walking shadows of a love that won't die. I reach far, I reach wide, feel your warmth on the other side. We are threads of light, weaving through the night, tied to the stars, to the ones out of sight. Every touch, every tear, every laugh, every fight, we are threads of light. We are threads of light. We are threads of light. On the wire act on black wings, shoulder to shoulder. One call, then the flock moves like a single holder. They know the winter path, they know the hidden field. They keep the herd among them and never break the seal. If one falls, they turn. If one calls, they come. Carrying the amber till the dark is done. Raven circle, hold me in your ring. Raven circle, teach my heart to sing. One for all and all for one, under moon and rain. Raven circle, call me back again. They trade the same bright glance like secrets passing cold, guarding the young ones close on the cold and open road. I saw them on the fence like elders in the wind. No king above their hollow, just a vow to not unbend. If one turns left, the whole sky turns. If one keeps watch, the whole night learns. Raven circle, hold me in your ring. Raven circle, teach my heart to sing. One for all and all for one, under moon and rain. Raven circle, call me back again. Maybe faith is feathered, maybe love is black and bright. Maybe every soul needs shelter in the long blue edge of night.
Hey everyone. Hey, welcome Ravens. Happy Sunday to everyone. How is everyone doing? Let me just get the comments back up. Can everyone hear me okay? I think that must be a yes because I'm not getting a no. Hey everyone, let's just say a quick hello to everyone. First of all, do I sing during the intro? No, unfortunately, that's not me. I wish I did sound like that when I sang, but I definitely don't. But thank you. You can pretend it's me. That's okay. So let's say hello to a few people. Hey, Shanahan, and thank you for being here. Guys, if you don't know, Shanahan or Shannon is modding for the first time today, or you may not be. You don't have to, but if you decide to, you're more than welcome. So, yeah, hey, Shannon, and welcome. Hey, Melanie, how are you doing? Yorkshire Pudding, love your name. How are you doing? Who else we got? Mindful Haze, how are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Robin. Good to see you, Essie. Good to see you, Tara. Chrissy, good to see you. How you doing? Melanie, how are you doing? Good to see you. Mindful Haze, great to see you here. Michelle Rowe, good to see you. Cat Farm, good to see you. Potsy, how's it going? Good to see you. Angela, thank you so much for the jewels. Good to see you. Janice, great to see you here. How you doing? Legally guilty, factually innocent. Amazing. Good to see you here. How are you? And thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to the family. You now get to watch all of that content in your own time. Who else do we have? I'm bound to miss some people here. Coco, great to see you. How are you doing, my love? Lisa Rivera, how are you doing? Alternate, how are you doing? That's my daughter, by the way. She's sitting a few feet away from me. Grandma Cindy, thank you so much for the jewels. That's super kind of you. Thank you. How are you doing? Mandy Bradley, Bradley, sorry. How are you doing? Okay, so more importantly, oh, and hi Doug, how are you doing? Let's say hello to, hi Stacey, how's it going? Hi Tina, thank you so much for the jewels. That's super kind of you, super generous. And I've got the goat trophy. Oh my God. Lynette, how are you doing, my love? Good to see you. And thank you so much for the donation. That's so kind. So let's bring DA onto the stage. How are you doing, Lee?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good to see you. How's your week been?
It's been all right. Been covering a lot of interviews on because there's new stuff coming out all the time on the Idaho 4 case, and the interviews just keep getting worse. But other than that,
Oh,
things are good. Yeah, they're just horrible. They're horrible.
I have not managed to catch up with really anything much on the YouTube side of things. So
Yeah,
who have you had that? I mean, when you
we
say horrible, are you talking about the reactions or?
they're horrible because like the last two that we really spent a lot of time with was a professor from WSU and then a co-student of Koberger's relating their creepy stories of Koberger, and it was so coached and so speculative on their part. Literally, one girl had this story about how creepy it was that Koberger sped up and held the door for her, and how it was creepy that he actually sped up to grab the door for her. And I'm like, so he's being a gentleman, and you're passing off the cops as this creepy moment when he actually went faster to pick up to open the door for me, and I just thought this is
Oh,
so inappropriate. I'm like, what? Like this
yeah,
kind of stuff is what made the news about the making women feel uncomfortable because he opened a door for them. Weird
yeah.
stuff. It's
We
hard to listen.
we we knew this was going to happen. That there,
Yeah.
all this stuff was going to escalate and come out now that he's retracted his plea. So, you know, it is what it is, but I don't think that will change the people who already are diehard, believers that he's innocent. I very much doubt that will change anything. But
Yeah.
um, Lisa, thank you so much for the jewels. That's super kind of you. Thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, were there any standout moments for you this week?
Um, No, except for my entire state's on fire. The whole Pacific
Oh,
Northwest in the United States is on fire. So there's smoke hanging in the air everywhere, and I can't go for hikes like I wanted to go up and hike in the mountains, and I can't do that because the air quality is horrendous. And so that's still going
bless
on. There's
you.
still, but they are getting containment on some of the fires, and some of the firefighters are going home. So that's hopefully the sign that things will start to clear up here pretty soon.
Is it far enough away from you that you're still safe?
Well, I don't know. There's a massive camp. I mean, like a city that they built for the firefighters just nearby here. We're in a valley. I worry about the fire crest in the valley, and they have evacuated counties around us, but we haven't been evacuated, and it looks like they've got it contained, like it's not coming here. So we should be fine.
Oh gosh, it's just I count my lucky stars, even though there's been fires over here as well, but nowhere near where I live. So I just think, I'm incredibly lucky, and you take things for granted, just having the roof over your head and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. And yeah, Ro, thank you for the jewels. That's super kind of you. Before I carry on, thank you, Chrissy, for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Before I carry on, I just want to say to anyone watching, and also welcome to the replay crew if you're watching on replay. And it may be my problem, okay? So I just want to put this out there for anyone who is watching the recording of this live stream, and you're finding that the intro music, the two videos on the intro are really bad quality, and I don't know if it's just me, but it seems to be playing back to me in really bad quality. I've been doing everything I possibly can to fix the problem. So if anyone is having that problem, or I've noticed that it's a bit atrocious, then please bear with me, because hopefully I will find the solution. So apart from that, as I said, welcome to all the mods. So I say all the mods. I don't know how many there are. Nat Alternat is here. I don't know if she's going to be modding or not, but maybe not. But either way, welcome to Alternat. Welcome to Tara, who is always doing an amazing job, and also to Robin and Essie. And because you guys, Robin and Essie, I don't know if anyone's aware, they're actually modding for 2 channels at once. So until I realized what it entails, I now understand, what an incredible job that is, doing it for 2 channels at once. So, really, really thank you. And also welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole to Hell. It's good to see you here as well. Okay, so today I've got a couple of things to get through. The main point of this live stream is to go back to my first reading on Kaylee, which I think is going to be super interesting, because I think that was the first kind of eye-opening shocker of a reading that I did, where and again, I kind of remember it, but not all of the details. Thank you so much, Danielle, for the jewels. That's super kind of you. I think that one's yours.
Yeah. For Michelle, thank you very much for gifting memberships over here on our side. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, I was just waiting to see if there was a good time to say that.
What was I going to say? So, yeah, a couple of things to get through. One of them is that I've mentioned on my previous live streams is that I finally listened to the audio from 1112, and I listened as in the cam audio. And I listened to it directly from MPD's files. I didn't take it from someone's YouTube channel. I went straight to the MPD and got their files and listened to it raw, untampered with. I listened to those audio files several times, slowed down, sped up, probably the same as everyone else has done. And and it may well be, because I'm not, obviously I don't go and watch everyone else's channels. It may well be other people have picked up on this, but I've picked up on something that I think is very interesting on one of those, or more than one of those videos, which I'm going to play later before we play the Kaylee video. Hi, Donna, my love. How are you doing? Good to see you here. Thank you so much for the donation. That's super kind of you. By the way, I don't know if I'm reading I was saying thank you to everyone, and they might even be yours, Lee, because I still don't know if they're mine or yours. So
You see the little paperclip? You should see a little paperclip next to the things that are mine, I think. So there's like a little.
they're yours, are they?
Yeah, if they have the paperclips next to it on the icon, that's mine. That's ours.
Okay, so sorry about that. I'm only watching from StreamYard, so I haven't got the YouTube side open, so I literally don't know. But I can, now that I know, I will. Yeah. Thank you to listen to the audio for that as well, for that donation. Thank you. That's super kind of you. So before we go any further, I think probably what we need to do now is actually, let's do the comment of the week first. So comment of the week. Let's see if I can add this.
Lee, did you get my email? Which somebody's asking if I got their email, and I'm trying to remember that name, your username with the email. I'm caught up on my email, so I probably did get your email, but I don't remember associating it with that. So let me take a peek. But anyways, go ahead.
Okay. Where is it? Okay. So this is the comment of the week. I don't know if this person is actually with us. Oh, of course, can't see it. Hold on. Can I? Oh, hold on. There we go. So this is from Purple Feather 69. It's actually referring to, I think it was the last live stream I did on Friday, because as I was during that live, I said, I don't know if anyone can hear, but there's a really loud magpie right outside my window, which is literally a couple of feet away from me. I don't think my mic picked it up, but the comment here is, a magpie outside your window carries different meanings depending on folklore, ranging from the famous British nursery rhyme predicting one for sorrow if the bird is alone, to Scottish and Romanian beliefs that a tapping bird is an omen of death, or general spiritual views seeing it as a symbol of duality, intelligence, and upcoming life transitions. I thought this was interesting because you're doing a reading on JS, Jack Showalter, and he claims what happened is not his fault. Wow. So I knew about the UK nursery rhyme, one for sorrow, two for joy, etc. I didn't know if a bird taps on your window, or if a magpie is tapping on your window, it could be an omen of death, because that has actually happened. I've had a magpie tapping on my window. So it's been nice knowing you all, guys. I don't know how long it's going to
Yeah, your clock, how long do you have? I don't know how much
Yeah,
time
exactly. Who knows? Who knows? I could just expire
right
halfway
now,
through.
yeah.
But also fascinating that, there could be, who knows, there could be a link there to spirit tapping on the window kind of thing, saying, Jack is lying. So interesting. And I don't know if you are in the comments, but thank you so much for that comment. So let's just take that off.
Real quick, by the way,
Okay.
Lynette, I did get that audio. I listened to it last night on noise canceling headset, so I did spend time with that last night. So.
Oh, you have? Okay, interesting. You need
they sent
to
some new audio for
if when I do eventually play this audio, you're going to need to watch it as well, because watching the video is going to be important. And if you have got your earphones or your headphones, anyone who's watching, please use headphones, because I think you'll be able to pick up more than you would if you're not. So before I continue with that, I think we need to do we have to do the director's cut. So
yeah.
So let's get on with the director's cut, and then we'll get on with the proper business of the day.
I reveal what I'm a spirit animal. So do you? I'm a
I do apologise. Honestly, Moose is so inappropriate. I apologise to Ayla unreservedly. Anyways, yes. Have you heard about these directors? They're all the same, honestly. Anyway.
It's funny. I have a favorite T-shirt. I was trying to show it. I was trying to show it here. I'm going to give you the opportunity whether this is something you would show on your show or not. I'll put it backstage.
Okay.
Hold on. Every time I see the cat, it reminds me of my favorite T-shirt. But you might not appreciate it. So
I'm sure I will.
Hold on a second. All right. There it is.
Okay, I'm going to add it. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I came on now.
Oh! I love it. I love it. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways.
How often do you wear that one?
I don't wear it, but when I saw it on the street, I was like, I love that shirt. It's hilarious. So it's all good.
Anyway. So I'm going to find the 1112 audio. Right. Okay. So I'm not going to play every single one of these. But we're starting with, if anyone has watched these, there are 5 separate videos and they're meant to run in order. I'm pretty sure they've been edited or there's been bits cut out. But the one I'm starting with is the second one, which is according to this at 2:45 in the morning. Let me just hold on. Right. Right, let's add this. Hold on a minute. How do I get rid of this? Bear with me. I'm trying to remove your T-shirt and...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Excuse me.
Here, I'll just remove. There we go. I just removed it. My kitties are getting in the way. I get it. My kitties are getting in the way. I get it. It's a problem.
Is this X-rated? The actual. Hang on. I'm trying to. Has it gone? Oh, you've done it. Okay, that makes sense now.
I did remove it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You've taken it off for me. So
it's the last thing a gentleman can do.
exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now I need to. Why can't I share my screen now?
It's
Stop
tricky.
screen.
I swear StreamYard does some weird things with screen sharing. It's
Oh,
yeah, you probably
so annoying.
your last cat video.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Share screen. Okay, got it. Okay, so let's. Oh, no. How do I get it? There's the one. That's it. Hopefully, I did remember to tell me if you can hear audio on this. Oh, hold on. Can you hear the audio?
No.
No. Of course you can't. Let's start again.
Yeah, so you have to stop the screen
I
sharing and
know.
reshare with sound. Yeah. We've played this exact video before too, so I'm well aware of this video.
Okay. Start again. I bet you did it a lot better than me, though.
I don't know about that. I got a lot of grief.
Okay. Now we share the audio. Okay. So that. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay. Right. I am going to speed this up because this is how I played it originally. So I'm speeding this up to 1.5 times. Okay. Right, I need to just double check what it is that what I found on this video, because there's a couple of different ones. Now, I think this has been picked up before, so I just want to show you what I have picked up. Okay. I know right at the beginning of this one there is a loud scream. That's actually not what I'm focusing on. So you want to keep an eye on this property here, which I believe is 1119, I think.
Yes.
The other thing I noticed, and I haven't quite figured out what this is about, you see this property getting lit up as if there's some headlights.
Mm-hmm.
But where are the headlights? Because this stays lit up for quite some time. Do you
I'll
know
tell
where
you.
that's coming from? Go on.
I do, but I'm echoing through your headphone for some reason. So.
Okay, tell me after.
Okay.
So you want to keep an eye on this window. So there's a definite flash and the sound of a pop. And I think people have mentioned this before. So this may not be a revelation. But that was the first thing I picked up, because it looks like it could be a gunshot. So we'll discuss that in a second. Thank you so much, Kel Gels, for the jewels. That's super, super kind of you. Thank you. If that was, sorry, I didn't even check. I don't know if that was yours or mine, Lee. I think that was mine too. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that was that one. But I think the more interesting one, which I'm going to play straight away and we can talk about it afterwards, is... sorry, let me just take that off. And it is... Just double checking my notes. So it's the 255 videos. It's this one. Is that... Hold on. Sorry. I haven't added it, have I? I might forward this. So again, I'm speeding up to 1.5 times. And I'm going to forward this onto around the 3-minute mark. Okay. And again, I want you to keep an eye on this property, which is 1119. Okay. Can everyone hear it okay still? So you see this person approaching. And they're going to go up the steps into the property. Now listen carefully. So that, let me play it again. And again, I apologise if this has been picked up on before. It may well have done. Don't forget, the audio we're listening to is meant to be coming from 1112, which is the property that we're looking out from. However, when you watch this video of this property, it looks like we're picking up the audio from this property, not from this one, because it's perfectly synced. Him going up the steps, opening the door, shutting the door. So does that mean everything we've heard has actually been coming from 1119, not from 1112? And I find it incredibly interesting because the readings I've done have shown a lot of activity going on in 1119 more than 1112 or 1122, which is the property behind 1112, which is this property. So let me just remove this and add you. Hold on, why can't I? Why are you not back on the stage? Hold on. Oh, there we go. It's weird, I had to add us back in. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hold on. Are you muted?
Yeah, how about I'm muted? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All that time I was talking to you, you weren't hearing me. That was awesome.
No, sorry, I didn't realize you were even talking.
I didn't even know I muted myself. Yeah.
What are your thoughts? First of all, this property on the left-hand side of the screen that's lit up. And you said you know what that's about.
Yeah. So that house in particular, I think there's two things that light up that house at different times in the videos. One is like a motion detector light on the front of one of the houses that's across the street from it. So if somebody walks in front of that motion detector, it lights up the automatic, like your driveway light up kind of thing, and that lights the front of the house. Another thing that happens is at the infamous time when suspect vehicle 1 supposedly arrives at 4:07 a.m., you can see the headlights move across and light up that house and then keep it illuminated for quite a while and before it pulls out kind of thing. And so cars that pull into the upper parking lot behind 1122 will for at least for a moment directly hit with their headlights on the front of that house. So there's several things that light up the front of that house, and it's telling on whether or not there's a vehicle up behind the house pointed at that house from up higher, or whether it could have been, like I said, a motion detector or whatever. I do have a quick thought about that. It's funny that you mentioned the flash of light in the window and the popping sound, because I made a big deal out of it when I heard it, because a lot of people talk about Bethany, how she heard a firecracker and she saw a flash of light. And then I thought, is that what that was? The problem, of course, with that is Bethany's timeline would put that at somewhere around 4 a.m, not at 2:30 in the morning when this, or 2:40 in the morning when this is happening. So it began to make some of us wonder, has everything been shifted in the timeline? Like things actually did happen, but they shifted the entire timeline to say it happened at 4 when it really happened more at 2:30, 2:40 time frame?
I do believe that. And I was even doing some research to find out how easy it would be to, crop out the original time on a, if they had done that, change the time stamp on the video, which can be done quite easily.
There's one other thing that I don't talk about much, and I don't have time to find it, but there was a moment. So like you're talking about, when you're looking out from the 11, sorry about the dice sound in the background. When you're looking at the porch of the 1112 residence, there's a time in that same video footage you're showing where it sounds like you can hear somebody actually breathing right underneath the camera. It's like there's somebody actually up on the porch right under and you can hear them kind of shallow breathing. And at one point I heard what sounded, I kid you not, I heard what sounds like one of those old style film cameras that you ratchet, one of those disposable cameras, and you can hear that winding. And so when I saw that pop and that flash, I'm like, did somebody just take a picture with one of those old style cameras? And I thought, well, that's ridiculous. Who uses the old style cameras? And then it turns out that several photographs from inside 1122 had those old style cameras with those same ratchet kind of things in the crime scene photos.
It's trendy. Apparently all the youngsters and that are loving the disposable cameras because it's retro and they like the pictures they create and all that kind of thing. So
so you can actually hear on the audio what sounds like people ratcheting it up. And then so the ratchet sound doesn't happen in coinciding with the snap photo, but it made me wonder, did somebody have a disposable camera out there and took a picture, and that's the flash of light that you see reflected for just a second and the popping sound? I don't know if it was right underneath but you made a good point. Like, is the audio coming from over at 1119?
I mean, why would you hear? Because that to me, and I played it over and over again, that the noise is just, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's the door. It's that guy going in there, shutting the door behind him. Even if you play it back, you can even hear him walking up the steps before he gets in the door. You hear him open the door, goes in, and then the door shuts. Why would you be able to hear that so clearly?
Right.
From 1112? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So does that mean that they're messing around with audio from one property and making it and overlaying it on another video as well?
I think that did happen. And honestly, in my grandest conspiracy theory, they did some manipulation of audio and video. And when they gave it to Ann Taylor for the defense, they figured it was her job to figure it out. Like I think they purposely manipulated some stuff, and they were going to try to fall back on the oops, I guess some audio must have gotten reassociated with the wrong thing, whatever, and expected her to just figure it out. And if she didn't, of course she wouldn't. Yeah. They'd be like, she did figure it out, they'd be like, oh, that was a mistake on our part. It must have been just some mixing up of files or putting the wrong sound in the wrong thing. Like I just feel like there was a little fuckery, and so pardon my French, It was I think they've messed with things for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I don't know if this is something anyone else has picked up, but I just found it incredibly interesting because the reading I did on 1119, the very first reading I did on 1119, I actually titled it the real House of Horrors.
Yeah.
That there was stuff going on there that, yeah. So interesting.
And there's some weird behavior in that house. I don't know if you watched a lot of the video, but people come and go. They go to the backyard. They come back from the backyard. There's a lot of activity at 1119 that makes you wonder what the hell's going on over there at that house. Car comes and picks a couple people up and takes off real quick. All kinds of weird stuff happen at that house. And could it just be regular party activity on a Saturday night or whatever? Maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, something's not right. That's for sure. So Shark Tank's 1118. But what I was going to ask is, and I don't know if anyone knows, you've obviously got, when you look at 1119, it looks like, is that all one property? Because there's two doors. There's a door on each side. Is that one property or is it two properties together?
I think it's one building that shares multiple units. I think they kind of, I think students rent both sides of, it's like I think it's one of those duplex type things where one side is, but so it's the same building, but it shares a wall and stuff and outside. And,
So the address is still 1119 for both sides.
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. It's fascinating. I'm so glad that I finally got to listen to it. I did make more notes, and I actually did a bit of a analysis via ChatGPT as well, and that was interesting to see what ChatGPT translated as what that could hear from the audio, and that was very eye-opening. Maybe I'll talk about that next time, but because I think I had to do it a few times and say, listen carefully, listen very carefully, pick up all of the noise, that human ears can't hear, and it was picking stuff up that we couldn't hear. So whether you trust that or not, I don't know, but it was very interesting considering it shouldn't have an opinion, if that makes sense. Or
and I think
but it picked up fighting and stuff like that. That's what it was saying. It's picking up a fight.
Right.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, Deborah was saying she thought 1119 was an L shape. I think the house beside it, which is the Showalter's and his roommate's residence, is more of an L shaped at the end of the cul-de-sac. I think 1119 is not L shaped, although I didn't see the back of the house. But I think the L shaped one is the one beside 1119. But
yeah. I don't honestly, the properties I seem to know the most about are 1122, 1112 and 1119. And I still have to explore. There's, I've been given, I've been asked to do the Shark Tank. I've been asked to do 1126, I think. Coco asked me to do that property as well. So there's plenty more to be looking at. And obviously I did a reading during the week on what is called the Tree House.
Yeah.
And do you know about that property as well?
I know roughly where I believe it's at. Yes, it's right beside the Whites, and there's a walkway between that and the Whites apartments that leads into 1122 King Road.
Yeah. The reason I was led to doing that reading, interestingly, was because I was actually at the time doing a reading for Jack Showalter, and some cards kept coming up about, and I was picking up some energy of, being up high or being elevated, or there was something about trees, and there was something about, and then someone said, hey, did you know there's a property called the Tree House? And I was like, what? So obviously I felt like I was being drawn to that.
Well, and speaking of that, also, I remember you saying that. I didn't watch the full video, or I didn't pay attention, but I remember you saying about the looking from up high. And I saw one of the interviews. They were talking about Xana and Ethan were in a loft overlooking the party. They were up higher in a loft overlooking the party at Sigma Chi. So I was like, well, maybe that was the up high looking over the audience kind of thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So we need to get on with this original reading for Kaylee. I apologize in advance because this isn't good quality. It was back in the day when I was using bad quality webcams. So bear with it.
I hope I didn't say Jack Showalter's house. I meant Jack DeCoeur if I said Jack Showalter. Cat Farm said, I don't know if she was correcting me or somebody else, but when I was talking about the L-shaped house, if I said Showalter, I meant DeCoeur.
Okay.
Anyways.
No, okay, so let's add and audio.
I have to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back, but go ahead and
no worries. Okay. Let's play. Let me know, anyone,
Hi
if you can't
everyone,
hear.
welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. I am looking into the much awaited and much needed reading for Kaylee Goncalves. So for those of you who saw my
I'm not going to keep pausing. I know it's annoying. I just want to make it clear that this was recorded. The original recording was done in September 2024.
last reading, which was for Bethany Funk. In fact, Kaylee has been the most vocal with me trying to get through from the very start. So she needs to be heard, she needs her story told, and I am going to be delving into her energy and doing my best to interpret what it is that she's telling me through messages and through the cards. This is a tarot reading, so it is not factual, it is only opinion, and it is all alleged. It's also open to interpretation. So I'm at no point am I making accusations or stating any of this to be fact. So also, sorry, I didn't really tell you who Kaylee Goncalves is. This is regarding the Idaho 4 murders that happened in Moscow, Idaho, in the United States was it last year? I think it was last year. Hold on. If I wrote down the actual... yeah, you can check the dates and the facts. I've written them down somewhere, but I don't know where. The details, I believe, are on my probably on the Brian Koberger reading. So this is Kaylee Goncalves. She was one of the 4 that was brutally murdered. 2 other people were in the house that were left unharmed. Sorry, I will draw them. Bad habit. Okay.
I was waiting for someone to jump on you.
Feels like Kaylee knows everything, or she's open to... She's not just open to tell her story, she's desperate to tell her story, or tell the story. So this deck, I'm starting with Oracle decks. This deck is what lies beneath, and it will be listed in the description as well. Okay, Kaylee. So the first card I have is Burning Evidence. Now it's funny because I've picked up 2 things with this. One, the obvious that it's stating, and that is that evidence is being destroyed, and it has been destroyed because the house was destroyed this year at some point, which really goes against all protocol because it's evidence. At the end of the day, it's evidence. Why did they need to destroy it before the case had been heard, or before the trial had gone ahead? I will never understand that, but
Thank you so much, Angela, for the jewels. Super kind of you.
also makes sense to me that it did happen because of what I've been told by Kaylee. This burning evidence, there's 2 ways of looking at this. This is, but they have burned evidence, or they've destroyed evidence, or there is evidence that is burning to be discovered. So yeah, that's the first thing she's showing me, is that evidence was destroyed very quickly to cover up who actually is responsible for this crime. The next card is in their feels. One of these, the people that were involved, I don't know how far I can go with this, had feelings for Kaylee. There are rumours going around that she had a stalker, and I believe the Goncalves family tried to pin that onto Brian Koberger, but that didn't stick. They couldn't find any proof or evidence of that. However, it is true. It is correct that she did have a stalker, but it wasn't Brian Koberger. The next one is red lipstick stain in reverse. I think this is more about blood stain. I think this is something to do with give me a second. It doesn't make sense. What I'm getting is she's saying that there's a huge stain. It's evidence. It's still there, but the house is gone. So I don't understand where. Where is it? It's in someone's car. There's a blood stain in someone's car. Wow. Insecure. So this person really made Kaylee feel very unsafe. And I know, obviously, she moved out. She moved out of the house. Before the murders occurred. I can't remember how long before. But she came back for that particular night. And I did say in a previous reading that part of the reason she moved out was because of things that had blown up in the house, secrets that had been revealed or uncovered, and Kaylee wasn't going to let it go, is what I'm feeling. However, this is also regarding the person that was stalking her. There was a combination of two things. There was that going on in the house and the stalking situation, and somehow these are connected in some way. So this deck is the what's the vibe?
Thank you so much, Wandy, for the jewels. That's super kind of you. Thank you.
Also linked in the description. Okay. So this next deck, first card, cutting ties. It says cutting ties, freedom, standing up, awaken. So first of all, I'm getting that a threat was made towards her, towards Kaylee. Not from anyone in the house, from someone else. From her stalker. I don't know whether to say. I don't know whether to say. This is so difficult. Like I said, okay, guys, this is all alleged. This is not factual. I am not making any accusations, but I'm just going to say it. I'm going to come out with it. Before I began these readings, the very first one being Brian Koberger, the reason that I had to do these is because I had Kaylee in my head, connecting with me, and she desperately needed someone to reveal the truth. And I asked her who did it. Was it Brian? Her answer was a police officer. It was a police officer. And it's the police officer that was stalking her.
That's super weird.
And she's just desperate.
I mean, there's a lot of rumors about that.
Is there? As in police officers stalking her?
Yes. A police officer obsessed with her, or having a relationship with her, or both.
Yeah. I mean, I'll carry on, but I remember thinking at the time, I was questioning my abilities at the time, thinking that how can that be right? And so I kind of, this is the only time I've ever gone to other readers' channels to see what take they had, through tarot. But you'll see in a minute. I don't know if I mention it. If I don't mention it in this video, I'll pause and explain.
For the truth to come out. And when you look at all the little things that have happened, it all just makes so much sense. So yeah, she was threatened. I don't know when. I don't know how. How soon or it wasn't that same day or night, but she was threatened to not speak of something to anyone ever. There's something about Dylan. There's a connection between Dylan and this police officer, and I feel like he was using her to get to Kaylee. Anyway, time. Next card, time, delay, procrastination, too busy. I've said on several readings that there was issues around something that was planned to go down, and it didn't go to plan because something was out with timings, which kind of led to what should have been you see, what I'm seeing isn't that this was planned, that there was going to be, that that this person was going to go there and unalive Kaylee. That was never the plan. I think it was more a case of scare tactics kind of thing. But it went wrong. And it escalated. There was stuff going on before that. There was arguments, there was fights, the emotions were heightened. It was just, all I keep seeing in my head is this chaos. So this police officer was going to turn up anyway. That was planned. And when they did turn up, it just so happened that everything was kicking off. So it almost looked like they turned up because there'd been a complaint or something. So it seemed natural, it seemed normal, you know, police officer at the door, whatever. Anyway, there was more than one police officer. There was two, but there is one that was responsible. Not responsible for every single person's demise, but definitely not for the first two, put it that way, but definitely for the last two. I don't like this. So this police officer, psychopath, abusive, conniving, unpredictable. I have done so much research on who this could be. I've tried to find the names, the histories of any police officers involved. The only one that keeps coming up is I don't know if I should actually name them, but their initials are BP. Okay, so look it up yourself, BP.
So I just want to make it clear that the only reason I mentioned that name is because that's the only name I knew. It's not because I thought it was that person. But as soon as I said that, I do remember everyone jumping on it. And everyone's going, oh my God, it was Brett Payne. Brett Payne did it. Brett Payne did it. And that's not necessarily the case. It's because that was the only name that I knew of at the time. So just want to make that clear again.
I think that he's the one that submitted the statement from that night. But I still don't know if it is him. So we've got waves, worry, emotions, fear. So the waves is about rumours. It was about there was a lot of stuff being talked about before this happened. There was rumours going around about Dylan and this particular police officer. People assumed that Dylan was close to this police officer because of the rugs situation within the house, keeping this police officer on side, in bed with this police officer, almost literally, because of the rug situation, because there was a relationship regarding the rugs as well. But there was a lot more to it, which Dylan didn't know was why he was close to her, the real reason. So this waves, worry, fear is coming from Kaylee, because she started to feel like she was it's like she knew she was in danger, but no one was listening, no one was here. It's like everyone's, are you kidding you for real, Kaylee? No, he's not going to do anything to you because of his job, you know. So let's have a look at the next. The last oracle deck, and then we'll get into the tarot. And I think it's this particular police officer's car that has evidence in it. Whether it still does or not, it's probably unlikely, but it definitely had a lot of evidence. And what I can't figure out, and which I'm almost suppressing, is did something happen in his car?
Did it again. Drop the card and put it back in.
Oh. What I can't understand is why, I know it's someone I'm going to have to do a reading on, but I can't get my head around the absolute insistence of Kaylee's mum and dad of pinning it on Brian. They haven't, I mean, I suppose when you've lost a child and if there's a slight chance that you know who's done it, you're just going to become hell-bent on that person, I suppose. But you think you'd want to know. Oh God, I wish that she could talk to him. I just wish that she could talk to him. There was also evidence on Kaylee's phone, what she's telling me, that there was not correspondence of something that kind of points in the direction of the person that did it, but they would have destroyed that evidence as well.
Dang it.
Cover up. I mean, absolutely, there's no doubt about it. It's a cover up. The Moscow police know about, they know, they're covering it up as well. And I'm trying to figure out, why would they cover it up? Why would, it's because of the rugs, because there's a link to the rugs. So therefore they would have it would have exposed the whole division. Money. Money, there was definitely money involved. There's money involved, it linked to the rugs. There was I've never, I mean, I know that there are authorities, shall we say, that are more corrupt than others, but I've never ever actually come across something this corrupt. It's just like an organised crime, like, but it's not. It's a division of authority of people that are meant to serve and protect, and yet they're literally operating like an organised crime group. Marriage and wedding. I don't know, this police officer, I don't know if she's trying to give me clues if this police officer was due to get married or was married. And then the last card. Yeah, I feel this person watching her all the time, like tracking her every movement. So we're going to do the oracle now.
I meant tarot, not oracle. Sorry, is there still an echo going on, even though you're not speaking?
Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Whoa, what's that about then? I wonder if that's down to you again. Missy? Because my daughter's in the room. The last time this happened, it was because... Are you hearing an echo? Yeah. It's probably because of... Yeah. One second, peoples. So it could be down to my daughter being so close. So she's going to go upstairs and see if that resolves the issue. Sorry, because I can't hear it my end, so I didn't realise that was happening. Is it only when you speak, Leah, is when I speak as well?
Just when I'm speaking.
Okay. Has anything changed? She's gone upstairs. Say something.
No. And if I exit out, it's going to happen. But yeah, it's a bad echo.
Yeah.
I'll exit out.
Does it still echo if I mute my microphone and you're talking? If I try, hold on.
Okay. Test. No, I'm echoing. I'll exit out.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to get back in. But I'm going to carry on playing.
She's so what's the word? She's so she was so close to telling her dad that this person was stalking her, but she didn't, because she knows how what her dad's like, and that he would have told her she was being ridiculous, and that he's so like you know, I mean, I don't know if he has connections with the police, but he's very much a strong supporter of the police and the authorities, and you know, he wouldn't have believed it for 1 second, but she wishes she'd said something. Eight of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Cups reversed, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. So here's Kaylee. It could also be Maddie, because they're both air signs. Eight of Pentacles reversed. It's just this feeling of never being able to get away from it, no matter what she did.
Hello, has that changed anything? No?
Nope. I don't know what happened.
So has it fixed it? No? No?
I don't think so. It's bad. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what changed.
that's weird. I don't know either. Yeah. Okay.
I'll just be super quiet.
was like no out. There was no, she couldn't talk to anyone. She couldn't, she just couldn't escape it. She desperately didn't want to go back that day, and she did. And again, that's one thing she'll regret, is that she knew it was a bad idea. Something in her gut told her not to do it, not to go, and yet she did. If someone talked her into it. Did her dad talk her into it? Someone talked her into it. She wasn't going to go, but someone talked her into it, and it wasn't any one of the others. It was a member of her family who just convinced her and persuaded her to go. I mean, if that was me, I'd be feeling absolutely sick to my stomach if I'd been the one responsible for convincing her to go, literally go to her death. Not that it would have been their fault, but 8 of Cups reversed. So this is literally that. It's about she nearly was so close to saying no, and then changed her mind. It's like she knew. Page of Pentacles. This feels like Dylan. We don't know her birth date. I'm picking up as Dylan because of the connection to money and the immaturity. So did Dylan owe Kaylee money? Dylan owed Kaylee money, which was one of the reasons why she went, because it was long overdue. Eight of Pentacles reversed.
I have seen echoes happen recently on other channels. Someone said it's because there are too many people or channels together. It was only myself and Devil's Advocates Beyond. I don't know. It is weird though, because it does seem to be happening to other people. And it's weird that it's just you, Lee, that's echoing.
And it wasn't happening earlier.
So is it only happening since I played this video?
And the one before it.
How weird. So we'll see what happens after I finish. At least hopefully that means there won't be an echo when we get to talking afterwards. Fingers crossed. And was there an echo when I muted your mic earlier? As in, I feel like there's been feedback or something, even when you're not talking. It's people saying there's a whistle or something. No. Okay. He's already tried that, Saber Sleuth.
So hard. It's like, even they're never going to be. This is never going to be uncovered. It's never going to be, even if Brian Koberger is found not guilty, there won't ever be another investigation. That's one thing I've never understood. Is there's an investigation for someone that's been unalived. The person that's on trial is innocent, found innocent, and then what? The person that did it's still out there, but they don't continue looking. They don't ever continue looking for the person. Do they? Or do they? Am I making that up? Is it like, that's it, case closed, done? We didn't get them, so what? Or do they? Do you ever see like that is that just me? I always find that very odd. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But anyway, even if that.
Have you fixed it?
I'm betting I have. Nope.
I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Was the case, certainly never going to be. This person's never going to be revealed, because the whole division's behind him. So I don't know what it would take for that to happen, and I think that's why Kaylee is so upset. So this Eight of Pentacles reversed is clarified by the Emperor, the Hanged Man, and Death. So yeah, this is him again. The Emperor is like he literally fed off of like feeling empowered. He really gets his kicks out of being in that position of authority, knowing that he can get away with anything really, which has just been proved. I don't know if she made a complaint. She made a complaint once to the actual I don't know what it's called, to the station, about this person. Nothing ever happened. Apart from so she was told that there was a warning or something, and that was it. So it was reported. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man and Death. It's just that constant feeling of him always hanging around, always somewhere. She's always looking over her shoulder. That's why when she lived there, God, this is so sad. When she lived there, I mean, that's part of the reason why, not the reason why she was so close to Maddie, but when she lived there, they shared a bed and things like that because she felt so unsafe. She wanted someone with her at all times. Eight of Cups is clarified by the Five of Pentacles reversed, the Six of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So she changed her mind. She ended up going. Five of Pentacles reversed. Pentacles reversed. It all kicked off over money. An argument started about money. Which escalated into...
We did try that, Indigo. I don't think it worked.
So this feels like the catalyst was Dylan. Something to do with money. Kaylee already knew about Dylan's secret, and she, in the middle of this argument, just blurted it out just because she was angry. She said, well, we know about you, we know what you're up to, we know... yeah. As far as Kaylee was concerned, Dylan was an informant. She was informing, yeah, which wasn't really the case. It just got worse and worse. Ten of Pentacles. So we've got the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So this is like an illusion being created that money was owed somewhere when it wasn't. Actually, there wasn't. There was no debt. It's really, really confusing. Six of Cups. There's blackmail about someone's past as well. Someone was being blackmailed, or someone was being paid off. The Page of Pentacles clarified by the High Priestess. Again, this is about Dylan. Clarified by the High Priestess. One who speaks, but one who knows but does not speak. She knows everything. Dylan knows everything. Six of Wands reversed. Seven of Swords reversed. Six of Wands reversed. Hiding from the public. Seven of Swords reversed. Getting away with it. Protection, getting away with it.
Anything changed? Got rid of the echo? No? You're muted.
Oh, I don't know. No, it's there.
Oh, gosh. Oh, dear.
Queen of Swords clarified by the King of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles reversed. And the Devil. Wow. So this is Kaylee. This King of Pentacles, I feel like is her dad. But we are going to do a reading on him, obviously, at some point. Now, this could indicate someone that's, you know, in a position of authority, powerful, rich, whatever. But it's coming through like this because he is, out of all of the people involved, he seems to be well, not even influencing, but he's making the most waves, he's making the most noise, he's trying, you know, he's on a mission, and that's what this card is about. The Six of Pentacles reversed. I mean, this is about money exchanging hands as well, and this is her dad. This is about money exchanging, and I don't know what's going on here, but she's so distraught. She's like, I cannot believe he's doing this. We've got the Devil. I mean, this is just really... First of all, I wonder if her dad is a Capricorn.
Does anyone know off the bat what Steve G's date of birth is or his zodiac sign? If anyone knows, drop it in the chat. I've always assigned the King of Cups to him for some reason. I don't know if he is a water sign, but he could be.
I don't know. Her dad could be a Capricorn. I don't actually know.
It's Libra. Thank you, Coco.
The devil energy is just really about the level of toxicity that is around this whole case, the level of corruption, the level of toxicity, the level of threats and blackmail and cover up, and I mean, I just can't even get my head around it. There's not one person here that could just spill the beans, because they've all been, yeah, I say all, I don't know if they, I mean, to be honest, obviously Kaylee's dad's not been blackmailed or corrupted by someone to say you must tell this story because because if he knew what had actually happened, he would turn the world upside down to reveal the truth. And that is the hardest thing. That I think that is what she's finding the most difficult to come to terms with, is that all that energy is being wasted on the wrong person, and there's nothing. What can be done? What can be done? They deliberately destroyed the evidence.
Apparently she's also a Libra, Coco, which is interesting. I'm not tainting all Libras with the, that brush, but there's no but. I'm not. Libras are great people. Oh, I've frozen.
This whole picture is just shocking. I can't even think of the word. It's shocking. I mean, how I'm being shown it transpiring throughout that night and onwards. Yeah, so like I say, that is I don't know what more to say with this one, because I mean there are so many little details that I could sit here and go through, but I'd rather go through every single person's reading first and then kind of put it all together and see how it all fits before I give you what Kaylee's giving me. I'm not saying that she's wrong, because I'm sure she's right, but I just want that to be the final kind of, this is the picture, the final picture that I've been given. I'd rather do it that way. I just want her to find peace, because she's in so much agony. It's just awful. And one thing I will say is that if Maddie hadn't been in bed with her, because they weren't in bed. They weren't in bed. Anyway, yeah, thanks guys. It wasn't as long as the other readings, but I've said what I came to say, and Kaylee's said what she came to say. And yeah, if anyone is interested in a private reading.
So let's just get rid of this. Okay. How's
Another
your
big moment of
your
truth? No echo. Do you hear me?
Oh, I haven't heard the echo from the beginning, so I don't know. I'm relying on what you tell me, if there is an echo or not.
So apparently there's no echo anymore, and it's apparently only happening when you share an asset on screen. So whenever you had a video shared, I got the echo. So now that you
How
have
weird.
nothing on screen, it's not echoing. The only thing I can think of is if you were sharing a screen with audio that also picked up my microphone, then it would echo through that. But I don't know. That's hard to explain. Like if you were sharing the entire second monitor, not just
Yeah,
the window,
which I was.
with sound, and if my sound is playing on that other monitor through another tab or something like that, maybe we were picking it up that way or some weird thing. But whatever it is, now that there's not an asset on screen, I can talk. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
so I'm
I'm
glad
back.
I'm glad it wasn't an issue all the way through, because to be honest, we shouldn't be talking through the video anyway. But
Right.
I'm glad it's okay now. So what's your take on the reading itself?
Well, it's interesting because again, I have to, like you, I have to couch everything with this is just speculation and not fact kind of thing. But I've long stated that I think what happened in the house was kind of a perfect storm. I think it was more than one thing that happened at a time. And one of the things that you said in this reading that has been a gut instinct of mine is Kaylee was working as a CI of sorts to report something to police, and that relationship became inappropriate, and meaning that it became more personal between her and the officer that she was communicating with. And you said something to that effect. You're like, I feel like she was talking to an officer, but I can't remember how you worded it, but you said essentially the same thing, that a relationship she had from maybe a CI perspective or communicating with law enforcement about something turned into something a little bit more, maybe a little bit flirty, maybe a little bit personal, maybe more than that. That was a rumor that went around for a long time. And so I started to work through that. I thought if an officer had been involved with one of the girls, and if there was a CI, what the Moscow Police Department and the university wouldn't want on their hands is a situation where they got the kids killed in the house. That because they had turned college students into confidential informants, ratting on drug trade and whatever, that they got the kids killed. That would be a huge embarrassment to the university and to the Pullman Police Department. So could that have answered why everybody's trying to cover up what really happened, because they don't want to admit that they got the kids killed? So, but
yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. By the way, thank you, whoever. I think it was Amy, was it? That if that was, I don't even know if that was mine or yours, to be honestly. I think that's mine. Thank you so much for the jewels, for the donation. That's super kind of you. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting perspective. And more recently I've been given, because obviously there's been that footage captured of the police officers outside the house after the event, and one of them's been captured as saying apparently one of the victims was a CI.
Yeah.
One of the channeling sessions I had with, I can't tell you whether it was Maddie or Kaylee, it was one of them, said actually they were referring to the parent, not the person, as in, the way they worded it is that apparently one of the victims was a CI, but what they meant was one of the victims was the daughter or the son of a CI, which to me meant that they were talking about Maddie, probably because of, I think, Maddie's mum.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things Maddie's mom said too, is like, this, I can't remember how she worded it, but she asked, does this have anything to do with me? Like, did she bring this on the house kind of thing? And could have been, because she supposedly had turned evidence against some people to get a better deal for herself, supposedly. And that would make some people want to commit murder. Yeah.
Sorry, not Maddie. Xana's mum.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. There was two families that had connections to drugs in previous cases, and Xana was one, and was it Maddie the other one or not?
Maddie's dad, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also because Kaylee had her fingers in a few,
Ben Mogan. Yeah. Ben Mogan. Yeah.
She'd been investigating certain things that had happened as well. Like, I think the students that had lost their life. I think one of them was, gosh, I've forgotten her name. There were two. There were the one's female, one. No, it wouldn't have been the female because that happened after. But the the boy that was found allegedly drowned. I've forgotten his name. There's rumors that she was investigating him.
Mhm.
And maybe she was, I don't know. There's rumors as well. Hudson Lindo.
Yeah.
There was rumors that she was warned off. So who knows? But it's interesting.
And I've heard so many. I've heard so many crazy things over the years. I don't even. I remember something about Ethan being involved with that hazing event that led to the drowning, and that she eventually had found out about it and knew that he was somehow involved in the suspicious death of another. But again, is that all? There was a lot of rumors going around.
Exactly,
a lot of rumors.
I've only just recently heard about these rumors about, apparently that the people that were involved with the death of Hudson Lindo was allegedly Jack Decor, and I don't know who the other one was. But I was like, that was the first time I heard of it. But is this just like, it's something, it's speculation that's got out of hand on other platforms? Yeah. So
Hudson's death was at a Delta. Yeah, and then Hannah Cleary's story is another. There's a lot of stories about suspicious deaths and whether they were hazing incidents that went wrong or whether we were bullying. Like in Hannah Cleary's case, did she commit suicide because she was being bullied? And she and then they tried to cover up how bad the frat life is there, and how out of control it had gotten. I don't know. There's a million rumors, and again, this is why I say my gut tells me the house was a perfect storm of things that happened. It wasn't just one.
Exactly.
And that's something you said in the reading as well. It wasn't like you kind of said, it wasn't like somebody came there necessarily to get Kaylee. It was something else, but it just kind of spiraled into more. So that makes you wonder,
yeah. I felt that from the beginning. It was at least two different situations that just kind of ended up converging. Thank you so much to Strong Little Mama for the jewels. Super kind of you. Thank you. So just really want to sort of have a look at what's going on here in the chat with the Ravens. Tara, you've said, yes, I heard that about Hudson's body being placed in Shallow Creek when he was a star swimmer. Is that where he was found allegedly, or?
Yeah, and by a creek.
Yeah, which was more, I don't know if I've picked this up and I've imagined it, or if I read it, this happens a lot, that it was very shallow water. I almost like to get the vision of it, even though apparently was it actually a creek, Coco? Because I've always imagined him being like with his face head down in a puddle rather than it being, I don't know why I've imagined that, but yeah. So Kelly, a question about Hannah. I've done a reading on Hannah. It was a long time. It was, I haven't done one since because I think it was put down. Was it put down on her death certificate as, she did it herself?
Hannah Cleary. I think they said accidental overdose of sleeping pills or something like that. But then the question was, was it truly an accident? Was it a suicide? Was it so I think it was listed as an accident.
Yeah. And honestly, I can't remember what I actually concluded from that reading. I can't remember. I do remember she was very unhappy. But I don't specifically remember concluding that she, that the outcome was correct. I don't know. I need to revisit that one. Definitely. There you go. Thank you, Tara. There was some of the red stuff on her mattress down the rabbit hole to hell. The other thing I was going to mention, actually, I don't know if you've done anything on this, Lee, which is going off a bit on what we're talking about, is the co-packer.
Yeah.
What's been released there? Have you obviously, I presume you've seen the because there's been what's it called? My mind's gone blank. There's been pictures released.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I've been heavy into Kopaka. I did a bunch of public records, and we watched a bunch of live videos and listened to all the standoff and the shooting of Kopaka. I got lots and lots of thoughts about it. Yeah, but recently a new photo surfaced of allegedly Kopaka dead in the room, which when I had asked for all of the files, I didn't get that picture. And now all of a sudden there's a new picture that shows his body unredacted, which I thought, well, how come that I didn't get that when I asked for all the files? Like, I asked for all the files, so how come somebody else now has a new? Now the problem I have is I haven't 100% verified that really is Kopaka's room, because it looks a little different. Some of it looks the same and some of it looks different. So I would have to go back to my original package and take a look at my photos to make sure that the debris that I see on the floor is the same debris. But I just recently saw the picture that supposedly is Kopaka, and again, he's face down, so you can't see his face, and so there's no way to identify the person that's on the ground. But how far do you want to go in the conspiracy theory that they put a dead person there and said it was Kopaka, but it wasn't Kopaka? I don't know.
Well, it's interesting, actually, you're saying, because I didn't even realize there were other, there had been other things released before this.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I noticed, I'm going off of comparing to what I've picked up in a reading about him. My quick take on it is that what the police have reported isn't true, that they've eliminated him deliberately.
Yes.
And
the audio is pretty clear. It didn't happen. To me, the audio is clear. It didn't happen the way that they said it did, because the audio tells a completely different story, in my opinion. But
absolutely, you never hear about any witnesses, the alleged people that were with him at the time.
Yeah.
Where are they? But anyway, that aside, the first thing that struck me about the image was the absolute disarray in the room. It looked like it had been ransacked.
Yeah, correct.
And I can ask you the question, when you've looked at previous, not that you can really ever know unless you see pictures of him living a normal life without, beyond that night. Does it match other pictures? Do you think he lived like that? Or do you think there was something more, if it is him, obviously, or do you think there's something doesn't sit right with you?
Something doesn't sit right with me. The apartment was void of furniture. When they come into, there's no furniture in the living room at all. The bedrooms are very scarce. There's hardly any furniture at all. It's like people weren't really living there. Now, that there's a story that said they were repainting the apartment, and so did stuff get moved out to paint the walls? I don't know, but there was nothing. There was hardly anything there, but a ton of debris in his room. All I can say about that is, yes, something doesn't seem right. The three guys that were living together all had mental health issues. They were all seeing counselors. They all had mental health. So you had three guys. You don't know how they got put together. They were living together with similar supposed schizophrenia issues. They at least two of them had schizophrenia, and they were living together. They were living in a temporary kind of housing situation. One of them even indicated that he lived somewhere else, but he also lived here, and all of his furniture was at a different place. So I don't know what that place was, but everything seems odd about the whole thing.
Yeah. And I was trying to figure out, because it looks like, even just the first kind of thing I pick up, it looks like he's been sat there just doing his own, and I'm trying to figure out what the black thing is, whether there's a black thing, whether he'd been holding it, what that was, whether that was, it looks like I don't know if it's a phone or a screen or something. I don't know. I can't quite make it out, but it does look like the position he's found in, that the police just come in, taken him out, and he's fallen in that position. So
Yeah.
if the story is to be believed, what we're meant to believe, that there's some kind of altercation that's gone on for, how long did they say it went on for? Like
hours.
An hour? Hours.
Hours. Yeah.
That doesn't kind of make sense to me.
Right. Yeah, it's a troubling thing. The first shot that the sniper took, they said that they missed, and that's recorded on the audio, that the sniper took the shot and they missed. They said it was negative. Later on, the sniper takes a second shot, they say, and they said that they heard him fall. But the problem is, when you listen to the audio, you hear somebody, whether it's Kopaka or not, asking that they basically tell him they're going to charge the room. They're going to charge the room from the inside. They're in the hallway and they're in his apartment and they're going to charge. And he says, you really want to do this? And they said, yeah. And he goes, okay, then. And then you hear a whole bunch of ruckus, kicking, slamming. Fuck yeah. You hear slamming. There's a fight going on. There's even a hatchet stuck in the wall. There's an axe stuck in the wall. So I think there was a toe-to-toe confrontation, and I don't know that he was taken out by a sniper. I think they went in, they charged the room, and they killed him in the room.
And it doesn't make sense that he'd be sat in a chair at the time, It's like, I don't know. And like you said, if it's even him.
Yeah.
And it is very telling as well that they're releasing this stuff again right now. It's sort of like I said in a reading I did recently, just keep an eye on stuff because there's going to be stuff being released and you're going to be asking, why are they releasing it now? It should have been released, years ago.
Yeah. And even, and by the way, about the Kopacka thing for a minute, even Steve Goncalves at the outside of the courthouse when I was there for, I think it was for the change of plea or something like that. I can't remember if that was I think it was a change of plea. Even Steve Goncalves says, I know what he's going to say. His defense is going to try to blame it on a vet. They're going to try and blame this all on a vet. So even Steve Goncalves knew the Kopacka story and he believed at one point that the defense's position was going to be that Brent Kopacka was involved in the killings. So I thought that was weird because I knew exactly who he was talking about when Steve said, oh, they're going to blame this all on a vet who had PTSD. And I'm like, yeah, and we all know who that is. It's the $1 million guy that nobody wants to talk about. But Steve Goncalves thought that the defense was going to use Brent Kopacka as the killer. So it's interesting.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting. I think they had Kopacka lined up as being, the person that did it. And I don't think he did. I think there's a lot of people out there that think he did, that he is guilty. I don't think he is, from what I picked up. And because everything escalated and they've ended up taking him out for whatever reason, maybe he was, ready to sing, as they say. Yeah. They've taken him out. And then because they've already had stuff already being, it's sort of already being processed, they've had to fill that gap with someone else who had similar characteristics, same name, similar name, same car, same BK, area, exactly. And so and also even down to the mental health aspects. Bingo. I mean, it's just it's too there's too many coincidences,
right,
in my opinion.
And it's super hard to put it all together because it makes you sound like a conspiracy theorist. But when you're like, how is that all that stuff kind of lining up and you can kind of see it, but you just can't quite put, because we're being lied to about stuff. We're being lied to and being gag ordered and all stuff like that. So it's like, it's right there, but we, the public, are missing that one key piece that'll probably put it all together, but we can't quite see it because it's like they've given us a 1,000-piece puzzle and withheld about 50 pieces. So you can't put all the puzzle together. You kind of know what the picture is going to be, but you can't put it together because you're missing pieces.
And when they give us stuff, I find it even more suspicious when we're given something that's and it's like, why would they be giving us that? I'm questioning things that's being released, and I'm wondering why. There has to be a reason why. Why are they releasing that? It's like when they released the audio from 1112, and straight away I was thinking, something has to be up with this. They're not going to be shooting themselves in the foot by releasing something that could incriminate law enforcement or could actually expose the fact that the timeline's different so it's interesting. And obviously Brian's now been appointed a lawyer, and there's a lot of speculation about that because people are saying that he's not going to do a good enough job. He's also U of I ex-student, all that kind of stuff. I think there's even what's her name? Phoenix is trying to raise money so that he can appoint a private solicitor. But I don't know if is that actually, can that be done?
I think it can be done. I think it can be done. I think more than likely, in my opinion, what's going to happen is, if this gets enough legs behind it, some big big lawyer is going to take it on pro bono, because it's going to be a national case of monumental proportions. So if any lawyer out there who wants to make a name for themselves or already has a name as taking on high profile cases, they'll be like, you know what, I'll take a shot at that, because there's enough here to work with. So
that is exactly what I've said. If there's anyone out there got any smarts about them, they take on the case and they end up winning. That's a Would you know who I was thinking of as well? There's a female lawyer who did the Making a Murderer case.
Yeah, Kathleen Zellner, I think Zellner is her name. Yeah,
and I don't even know if she's still active or if she's retired or whatever, but she'd be perfect for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully, give it time. He'll find someone. He'll get the proper representation. Hitler trying to sabotage him with that attorney.
And I need to find somebody sent me a picture of the docket that Kohberger, in the case of Kohberger versus Idaho. So keep in mind, the first one was, the state of Idaho versus Brian Kohberger. Now it's Brian Kohberger versus the state of Idaho. So there's a similar case, right? Same parties, but the plaintiff and the defendant have flip-flopped. And in Kohberger versus Idaho, there's a new motion for a transcript. So him or his lawyer are looking for a transcript of some conversation. And that's super interesting, because I'm wondering, are they trying to get a transcript of his attorney-client conversation with Ann Taylor? Because again, Brian Kohberger is claiming Ann Taylor gave him false information and withheld things and scared him into taking the plea deal in front of his family. Are they now asking for a copy of that transcript, that conversation between him and his attorney? I don't know what they're going after. I don't know, but that's the first thing I would go after. I would think, if I were taking on his case, is like, okay, so you say that these things happened. There's got to be a record of that somewhere. Let's go after that.
Exactly.
Record. Yeah.
Exactly. Someone just commented about Hitler accidentally calling him Kopaka. I think that was actually Judge that did that before it changed.
Judge.
Yeah. But yeah, also quite telling, because why would that name even be in that person's mouth? It's like,
I'm a little worried about that particular one, though, because, I repeated that story about Judge saying Brent Kopaka. And so one day I decided to go back and watch it again to see how close he was. Because somebody said, well, he doesn't really say much. He says Brent Kopaka and then stops, which would be good enough. But when I went back and the audio that I listened to sounded altered, like somebody had actually put that overlaid on the audio to make it look like he was saying that. And I'm like, now I don't know. Like I still need to find the original source, because the video I found it sounded like a dub over, like somebody had put Brent Kopaka in there and they just overlaid it on the video. And I'm like, well, shit, somebody's if the whole rumor has been going by some dubbed thing that somebody overlaid on it, I'll be really irritated. But I need to go. I'm
trying to remember, because I mean, that would have been, do you have any idea of what sort of, we talking what year that was? That was 20, because we talked about this the other week, didn't we? About when, yeah. So maybe I'm wrong. I was going to say, because I knew once I was engaged with the case, I was watching every single hearing there was, and I would have watched that live. But if it was 2023, I wouldn't have done. So, yeah. They never released any of the... Yes, and that apparently there's a FOIA out for his interview, for Brian Kohberger's original interview, what there is of it, because apparently it's very brief, because that's something that's never been released. But there is a Facebook group or something that have FOIA'd the Brian Kohberger interview. So that'll be interesting if that gets released. Because it makes you wonder why it's never been released, even if it's just allegedly, according to them, it's just him saying, I want a lawyer, and that was it. But there must be more to it than that. They must have asked questions. And does anyone know who interviewed Kohberger?
You just heard all my clicking and typing, didn't you? I thought I was muted, and I went to go
That's okay. It adds to the atmosphere. Like, oh. Yeah. Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah, I did, but now I've just lost it because my brain just shot when I was telling you about that. So you had to repeat it again. I did hear it.
Apparently they are trying to FOIA. I think it's a Facebook group trying to FOIA the interview, Brian Brian Koberger interview,
Pennsylvania.
original arrest interview.
Yes. Yeah, we've been.
Do you
a lot
know
of people have been
who
trying-
it was that interviewed him? If I know it's only if you can
Brett
call it an
Payne,
interview.
Brett Payne and Gunderson, I think, went out to Pennsylvania and interviewed him in Pennsylvania, and they've been fighting over. So Moscow tries to say it's a Pennsylvania record, and Pennsylvania says it's a Moscow record, and they've both been fighting. And Iwu is the Explore With Us Media is the one that's been trying to go after that particular interview. In fact, we had somebody show Brett Payne has logged that he logged a copy of that audio of his interview in Pennsylvania into Moscow's records. So now people are pushing back. They're like, Moscow, you're trying to say you don't have the record, that it's a Pennsylvania record, but you've got a log entry that says Brett Payne entered the audio of that interview into your records. So you do have the record. Cough up the audio at least. Yeah. So they're just.
But he was never interviewed at the station ever.
What's that?
Was he never interviewed at the station?
I believe Koberger was interviewed at the Pennsylvania police station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's something up with it that, why that's never been released. But yeah,
we know the fact there's so many names that are the same. I did say Gunderson and I meant Gilbertson. So yeah, sorry about that.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
There's a lot of names that are very similar.
Exactly. There's all that Schneider. What's the other? Schneider. There's loads of that as well.
Oh my God. Oh
yeah. Let's have a look. So if there's been any questions, because I know there was a couple of questions while the video was playing, and I may have missed them, but I did catch Tara saying, great question. Ask Sue at the end. So if anyone had a question that I've missed, please, if you're still here. I'm more than happy to answer. Blunderson. Blunderson. I love these nicknames. They're so funny. Go on.
I'm trying to find the actual. Damn it! I'm trying to find the actual court docket so I can start tracking the Koberger versus Idaho thing, and I thought I had it. I was mistaken. Another false one. Oh my gosh. It's taking me everywhere but where I need to be.
It's always the way.
Yeah.
Apparently, let's have a look. So, Kelly, can I read the Grub Truck? I did. I have done a reading on the Grub Truck. Don't ask me what that was called. Do you know what? I have to take my hat off to you, Tara, for finding some of these readings because they haven't been obviously titled, a lot of them. But I either did, it may not have been a reading on the actual Grub Truck, but it would have been a reading on, what's the guy's name that was serving at the Grub Truck? Oh,
I don't remember his name. The actual server? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because there's rumors and speculation about everyone in this case. I'm surprised they haven't drawn in the mailman yet. And
real quick,
everyone else.
Firebox asked if the guy that is representing Koberger right now is a temporary attorney. I wouldn't say it's a temporary attorney. This is where I think the confusion comes in. So Hippler allowed an attorney to be assigned to him, and there's an attorney that's been assigned to him. That's not necessarily temporary, but it is for the purpose of helping out with the post-conviction relief paperwork and with that. I won't be surprised if it becomes temporary and a big name lawyer jumps in to defend him pro bono. But right now, there's that could be the same guy that represents him as far as the case may go. But so I wouldn't call him temporary, but I won't be surprised if he doesn't get a different counsel at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone did ask if about Kaylee's tongue being, because it's allegedly, I think it is listed on the autopsy that she had that there was damage to her tongue.
So I believe this is, so I could be wrong, but from what I understand, So first, I think Kaylee had a mouthpiece, like a retainer type thing in her mouth, and the knife blade had gone into the oral cavity and punctured the tongue and whatever. So, which turned into people saying that her tongue was cut out. I don't believe Kaylee's tongue was cut out, and I don't believe that Kaylee's tongue necessarily was cut as a sign. I do think her throat was slit as a sign, but I don't think her tongue was cut out as a sign or cut as a sign. But I think the knife blade entered through the oral cavity and cut the tongue and broke the retaining thing in the mouth, and that kind of damage got reported as, the tongue was cut. But
yeah, she had. I think she had
super graphic, but yeah.
Yeah, I think she on the autopsy she had the most. I don't know if it's the most wounds overall, but I think she had the most wounds to her face.
Yeah.
From memory, which makes which is indicative of a very personal attack, which is also, interesting. It's something I've been trying to get my head around, because you would automatically sort of attach something as personal as that to someone who had feelings for her.
Yeah.
But could it be something else? What else would trigger that kind of anger? I don't know. So, Delco Alana, Brett Pint-Sized Pain, allegedly was recognised by BK when he came into the state. Yes, that's true. That he automatically went into. Where do we know that from? Because it's not been released in documents, but we know that because I heard the same thing, and I have a feeling that it's official, it's not rumor, that they engaged in some kind of personal, conversation.
He said you look familiar. I think he said you look familiar. Yeah, you look familiar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. I
want to say that I read the transcript. I read a transcript of Koberger's interview, and I don't remember where, because we're looking for the actual audio, but I feel like I've read it in reports. Because I remember them talking about sports for quite a long time. Like the officers were talking about sports and football and baseball, and at some point Koberger said something like, "Is it appropriate for us to be talking so much about sports and whatever?" And so unless this is a complete false memory, I read this somewhere. I just don't remember where
I'm the same. I feel like I know where have I got that from? Thank you so much, Taurus, for the jewels. That's super sweet of you. But also the other thing that's kind of I've just thought of is how the way Brian comes across is that he doesn't really have much of a filter. He feels like someone who is, he'll just say what he's thinking, and that can come across as being intrusive. But I think that's just down to his, his condition.
Right.
The fact that he is like that, but people will definitely use that against him.
Yes.
He'll ask inappropriate questions, or he's very inquisitive. Definitely is what I get about him.
Yeah, and and like you said, that's part of his condition. Is probably why he's a good student, because he asks a lot of questions and asks deeper questions.
Yeah,
and it's also interesting to keep in mind what doesn't make into reports. When we're watching some of these later interviews, it was amazing listening to 20 minutes of the officers talking about cocaine and who supplied cocaine to the house and Kaylee's cocaine usage, and none of it made it into the report. None of it. You hear it on the audio, but they didn't write a word about cocaine in the report, even though they talked for like 20 minutes about who the drug dealer might be, where they got the drugs from, how many times did Kaylee do. They've asked Jack DeCour about Kaylee's drug use and cocaine, and none of that made it into the report. So
exactly. So there's all that messing about with stuff that should be in the report that's not ending up in the report, and things that's being added to the report that shouldn't have been added.
It's like making something bigger out of something. Yeah, they have a narrative
crazy.
They want to tell. They had a narrative they wanted to tell. Yeah.
But even I remember watching back before the plea deal, and there was a hearing where they were actually. It was Brett Payne. He was going over his PCA during the hearing. Yeah, and the questions that Ann Taylor was asking him, very valid questions, and every answer was, I don't recall, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Is it not the duty of a police officer to record everything that's going on at a crime scene? Right. That's the whole point. So how do they get away with saying, I'm sorry, I don't remember? What's the point in doing your job?
And see, and that's the magic word for politicians in America and everything in America. If you just say, I don't recall, because who can argue with whether or not you remember some detail or not? You can argue you should remember, but I can't tell you whether you remember or not. So people that want to avoid questions will just say, I don't recall doing that. That way they're not saying they didn't, they're just saying I don't recall it. It's a loophole that says, well, you can't tell me what I do and don't remember. I just don't remember that. And then they say, well, here's the proof. I guess it did happen because you got it right in front of me. But if you can't provide it, I'll just be like, I don't remember me saying anything like that. Well, here it is on paper.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
it's funny because when the prosecution are questioning him, everything, I remember that, everything's coming out in perfect order. And then as soon as the defense questions him, I've just got memory loss.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I kind of hope it does get to the trial. I hope it does get to trial because, like I said, I really want to see it. I want to see the stuff come out. I want to see the truth exposed if it gets that far. And it may not. It may not get that far. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think there's a donation on your side there.
Oh, sorry about that. If that that one was that our side? The little extra, a little extra for your efforts. You both are awesome. Great to see you together. Thoughts on the G's and Steve and Christy's statements and Demi? Oh my God. Well, first of all, thanks for supporting the channels. The thoughts on the G. So I'm really, really bothered. Like, for example, somebody just recently sent me a screenshot from the Goncalves family page where Christy said they just got back from their media tour on the Netflix specials, right? So Netflix comes up with a special, and then they flew Steve and Christy to New York and put them on the Today Show in the morning, and they had done some other appearances, and then she's like, we just got back from our media tour, and I'm like, how do you feel about this? That you're going on whirlwind media tours every single time a new documentary comes out saying what happened in the case. No other family is doing that. And if you ask the Steve Goncalves, Steve says, well, all the families told us they wanted us to do that role. Like, we all got together. The families said that they want me to be that guy that goes out there and makes a big stink about it and is a face, and they're going to let me be that face. So did that happen? I don't know. Did you know the other thing, Sue, that, since you just gasped on that, I don't know if you heard Steve say this on the interview when he was on with Brian Enton. He said, Steve Goncalves said he lied about details in the case, like Brian Koberger's phone touched the Bluetooth and whatever. He would say those things on TV because he said, I was told that Ann Taylor and her team watches everything I say. So I started playing chess with her and lying to the public about things so that she would go on wild goose chases kind of thing. And Olivia, his daughter, went all freaked out. Was like, oh my God, Dad, don't say that. And Enton goes, let me rescue your dad. But he literally said, I was lying to the public on TV reports to throw off Ann Taylor's team to make her think that we know things that we don't know. So he admitted, you're the source of many of the lies. You're going on public TV and lying to people about what happened to your daughter and then saying, I don't know why people don't believe us. Well, you just told us.
It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you so much for the jewels. Super, super kind of you. Thank you. I just, it's like we knew that. I feel like we knew that, but to have him admit it as well, I feel like he thinks he's justified.
Yeah, I think so.
And one thing I can't figure out is, does he actually believe it's Brian? Or is he just hell-bent on making sure that everyone believes it's Brian? There's a difference.
Yeah, yes.
Because
I think it's the latter. I think it's the latter, yeah.
Which then leads on to a much bigger question of why. What does he know in order for him to be so hell-bent on, making sure it's right from day one that narrative is, what's his following now on his, they're called, what's his, I've forgotten, because he's got a huge following. It's like he's run a campaign from day one.
Yeah, I think I said it before, and I'll just repeat it again because I don't know if your audience has heard me say it before. I feel like Steve Goncalves, it's a gut. So this is all gut. Can't prove any of this. I feel Steve Goncalves was told by insiders it was more than one person, and when this goes to trial, it's all going to come out, and we're going to get them all. And Steve was waiting for that and excited. And he kept hinting, wait till this goes to trial. This is just the start of it. Wait till, and I think he thought it was going to be, other people were going to be brought to justice. And when they took the plea deal, he got super pissed off. And he said, fine, if you're going to make him take the plea deal, then make him say he did it by himself. Because, and what he was not saying was, because I want to be able to move on with my life and have a foundation to raise money to go after things. And I don't want to have to keep fighting the story changing every single day. So if you're going to take the idea that he did it by himself, then, which pisses me off, then fine. You lied to me and you said you're going to bring them all to justice. If you're going to make it one guy, then stick by the story and say it was one guy, and don't ever bring up this other shit, because we need to move on with our lives. So I think he thinks there was more than one person, but at the point that they took the plea deal, he said, then make everybody believe it's one guy and stick with it, because I don't want to have to keep coming back to this thing over and over again when you come up with, oh, I guess there was more than one person, and oh, I guess there's other, like, that's what he doesn't want to do, is he wants to be able to put some closure to it. So if you're going to say it's one guy, then say it's one guy and stick with it. But
yeah. I get it. I agree with you, but I think there's more to it as well. I think there's something to do with his, I don't know what it is, but there's something that's tied to this, to do with his business, probably to do with his crypto business, that he, I don't know what that is. I need to do a reading on his brother. It's one thing I need to do.
Yeah.
Because, and that's also, very hypocritical of him to, the way he behaves. And, you just look at his family and you look at his brother and you think, well, isn't that,
and it's
the pot
because,
calling the kettle black kind of thing.
Yeah. And I was one of the people who really stood up for Steve for a long time. I kept saying, this looks like a father who is going to get to the bottom of this no matter what. And he's not going to play ball with the feds, and he's not going to play ball with law enforcement. He hired his own lawyer. He started doing his own investigation. He was reaching out to people. He wanted to talk to Bethany, and the FBI told him to stop talking to Bethany and leave her alone. But to me, I saw the actions of a father who's like, I'm not going to sit around passively for you to tell me what happened to my daughter. I'm going to find out. So I was on his side for a long time. And I thought to myself, I can understand why he's a little wishy-washy, and why because he's trying to get to the bottom of it. But at some point, something changed, and he decided that he wanted to go with the narrative that everybody was selling. And now I'm having a hard time being as sympathetic, because I no longer see him as pursuing justice. He's pursuing something else now. And that's what
it's a profiteering thing for the family now. It feels like it's a business. They're like making a business out of it. But also, like you said, which is also incredibly apparent, is who else is doing it? It's just them. There's 3 other families here,
right,
that have also been just as badly affected. I mean, all of them equally badly affected. But this whole narrative of Kaylee was the worst off, Kaylee was the target, and it's like he's trying to, that to me is profiting off of, that particular situation. And we need to hear it from them. If he's saying, oh, they've asked me to be the spokesman, then let's hear it from them. But we haven't. We haven't. We haven't heard anything, really. The only other family that are slightly vocal are the Chapins.
Yeah.
But as for the Mogans, they're, do we know what they really think? I mean, I found it very telling that the Mogans decided not to attend the hearing, Brian's hearing. Brian's, because she said, I can't remember what her words were. She said something like, I don't need to hear. I don't know what it was, but I remember thinking, if that was my child, I'd be there with bells on.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense to me. And I think she already knew it wasn't him, but that's me, speculating.
And if I were to speculate, I think it's possible. So there's one or two things. Either the other families really just want to move on with their lives, and so they're like, let the Goncalveses do whatever they want to do. I just want to move on with my life. I'm gonna make the best. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is maybe they all know this could turn into a giant shit show and lawsuits and all kinds of stuff, and they want to distance themselves because they know that this isn't over. And they're like, Steve's out there he's gonna hang himself, because some of the shit that he's saying is gonna come back on him someday when the bigger picture comes out. So are the families distancing themselves from him because he's hanging himself with what he's doing, or is it just they want to move on with their lives and he's not? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh goodness. But there's probably a whole lot more to come. Feels like I said a week or so ago when Brian took his plea back. It feels like we're starting over again. It feels like everything started again from the beginning, which I found quite interesting because I'd already started going back to the beginning on the live streams, and then that happened. So it's almost like it was meant to be.
Karen Intrigue asked if it's true that Ethan's ashes are in the basement of the family's house. I believe that's true because his father was on a documentary saying that anytime he wants to talk to Ethan, he just goes down and talks to him down there, and that I think they have the ashes there. I don't know that I don't know if that's an important point, but I think that was mentioned in a documentary. Okay. I think it was on.
That's not Amazon so unusual. I can kind of understand that but I know that there's plenty of people that lose a loved one and they have a lot of difficulty in letting go of the ashes. So that does make sense to me.
Someone said it was Chapin's mom that said that. I would have remembered it was dad. Okay. See, that's funny. Your memory conflates things. I watched the documentary, but am I remembering it wrong? Maybe.
Yeah. What is weirder, though, is apparently the rumor that the Goncalves kept Maddie's ashes. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I heard you. I saw that in the chat, and that's the first time I'd heard that, so I don't remember that. But yeah.
And again, I don't know where I saw that or read it, but if that is true, why would that be? Because surely the Mogans would want her ashes. They wouldn't want to. Yeah, but
they could split it up. I mean, I know that sometimes they'll make ashes for several different people, so they could have split it up a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Delco, so much. Thank you, Alana, for the jewels. Super kind of you. Thank you. And Linda, thank you for the jewels. I keep saying I need a Tower of London for all these jewels to keep them. Thank you, Linda, for the jewels. Super sweet. Thank you. And again, Delco, Alana, I don't know if I'm repeating myself or I'm getting doubles, but thank you so much. So because the director is in my ear hole again for his dinner, same time every week.
Yeah, that's funny. I was like, oh, dinner time for dinner.
Yeah. It's like, that's enough of you. Shut that stuff down and feed me.
Don't you hear me?
I'm gonna have to wrap it up, I think. But it's been a good one. Thank you so much for spending these few hours with me again.
Yeah. And when I don't the technical difficulties, but we'll hopefully work it out.
It's probably something to do with, especially when I've been fiddling around so much with my audio trying to fix my problem. I'm wondering if it's got something to do with that. Thank you, Tara, and thank you to both of Linda and Alana for being so generous. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you to the mods for doing an amazing job again. Thank you, Ivy. I've enjoyed it. I love the pairing as well. I don't know what else you'd be doing right now, Lee. I'm sure you'd be doing something much more relaxing. But
it's my day off. But you know what? It's still my day off because you're in control of the stream, and I don't have to do any work. I just come on and talk. So it's all good.
I mean, it's still you could be on the sofa with your feet up. You know, wearing your cat t-shirt. So
right. Yeah, show me your kids.
But thank you everyone. Thank you for all your generosity. Thank you so much. I'm pretty much at 4 a.m. Love your name for the jewels.
That's awesome.
And anyone that I haven't mentioned, Robin, thank you for doing an amazing job. Essie, thank you for doing an amazing job. Tara, thank you for doing an amazing job. Nat, thank you for doing an amazing job. She's sat here as well. And also I think Scorpio Moon was in the chat, as well as Shannon. All of you, thank you. Amazing job, everyone. And I will see you guys tomorrow because I'm back on another live stream tomorrow. And we're doing a live on the tripod, but not actually the tripod, the camera that sits on the tripod. So, awesome. And I have done a reading on Scott Green, that comment there. But again, all of these people need to be read again because they need more than one reading, because it's like an investigation. If you're investigating someone, if there's something suspicious, you have a second interview, as they say. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Until tomorrow, thanks to you as well, Lee. And I will catch up with you in the week as well, Lee.
All right, have a good one. All right.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Footsteps echo down a hollow hall. Shadows stretch where the secrets crawl. A flick of light, a shattered glass. Truth buried deep beneath the past. Who holds the gavel? Who breaks the chain? Who hides the evidence? Who shifts the blame? Behind the badge, behind the smile, lies a ledger dripping vile. Redding stains and twisted ties, a house of mirrors built on a silent handshake out of sight. Justice wears a crooked grin. The game was rigged before it could be.